everyone, and welcome back to a new shop critique. So today I am critiquing A is for Alice shop, which is Ruth's shop, which sells super stuff for super kids. So I'm very excited to be doing this one. I'm going to try and keep this under half an hour. The last two that I've done has been like an hour long. So I definitely know that you probably don't want to sit here for an hour listening to me blab. So I'm going to try and do this a little bit quicker. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the branding is this thing that I like to start with first. So I like the fact that you have your logo here. I love the fact that you've got these three colours here and they are consistent throughout your pictures. I especially love this one because it's sort of like your orange colour fading into your pink. This is very eye-catching. I love it. So what I'm going to do is I've already opened up your social. So I'm just going to go and, so you've got your logo the same here. Basically, what I mean is that you have to make sure that your branding is consistent across all your social medias, because obviously if people are going in from your Etsy shop, they want to make sure that it's the same shop. Now, spoiler alert, I have already been and looked in. But my only thing is your Pinterest. I assume this might be like an old logo or something like that. Just make sure that, especially because of the nature of your items, Pinterest will definitely drive a lot of traffic for you. I have got Pinterest videos out. I will be doing probably a more detailed one because literally it's one of my favorite ways for Etsy shop owners to drive traffic. And I 1,000,000,000% think that if you maybe put a little bit more drive into your Pinterest, you will definitely see results from that. And you've got it on your Insta as well. So I like the fact that your tagline is this, towards Christmas time, Easter time, something like that. Just make sure that, because this is very SEO heavy, just make sure that you put something like Christmas gifts for kids or stocking fillers for kids or something like that. So you're in Birmingham, you've had 1,577 sales. That's amazing, well done, I'm so proud of you. So yeah, this does sort of accurately describe what it is that you do, especially that big super stuff for super kids. I like that. So the number of items. Now, I've talked about in, a good few of my other videos, the technique that I tend to use is drip feed technique. So what I do is every month I spend a day or two. Now, I send my items off to be photographed by someone else. So all I literally have to do is, as they're being photographed, I go into Evernote or Google Docs or something like that, and I type out my descriptions, my tags, make sure that all of the elements that I need for that listing is done before they even come back to me or the photos come back. So that means that 1 or 2 days a month I spend making my 20 to 50 listings, and that might seem a lot, especially because you've got 68 in here. But there is a way that you can get around it without having to spend the next year of your life just in your workshop making stuff. The thing that I would suggest you do is I would create bundle listings. So the whole point of this is to make as many listings, not necessarily new products, but as many listings as you can possibly do. So I would probably say you can bundle that with something else in your shop. I have to say I haven't scrolled through your entire shop. But making bundles, making gift sets, like for example, you could bundle that and that together and make like a, let's just off the top of my head, like a summer holiday dress up set. So when the kids are off for between, is it 6 to 8 weeks now? They have something that they can have fun with. You know, there's so much potential that you have for the listings in your shop. You could have a different listing, each with different flowers here on the headband and the same here, and for each one of those listings you could change the tags and the keywords and things. The more listings you have, the more chance you will of being found, and I know that does go against what a lot of people say, but this has definitely worked for my shop. As soon as I got over the 150 to 200 listing mark, my shop exploded, purely because I was using different keywords for different listings, and I then had more stats for the more listings that I have that I could go off of. So obviously in the back end of your shop, going into your stats, having a look at your keywords, and just basically gaining an idea of what your customers use to find your items. So when I'm saying about having sort of the 20 to 50 listings already made in your drafts, what I do is every day or every other day I publish one of those listings. As you probably know, Etsy has been a bit funny recently and they are doing a lot of testing. I just know it from when it's happened in the past, and then a few months later they come out and actually admit it, and then I look back on my stats and I see, oh yes, that was when they were doing their things and my sales took a dip or my views took a dip. I think now, so what are we in? We're in the end of June 2019. I'm going to go on record and say that I think they're doing some major testing at the minute, which is probably why a lot of shops are either doing really, really well or really, really bad. So I think they are taking more note of recency. So having more listings in your draft section and publishing one a day or one every other day is amazing. And also as well, the upside of it is that it saves you time, purely because you don't have time to go in every single day and make a new listing, put the picture in there, all that kind of stuff. So batching and batch creating listings, I think, will be your new best friend. So definitely I can see that your what are these called, categories are sort of, they're all well done. I would know that sort of going in there would be capes, crowns and headbands, tails and ears, masks and cuffs, all that kind of stuff. So predominantly you're doing headwear and sort of capes and things. Am I right? I think so. I will have a good little scroll through your shop. But I do like the fact that you are doing sets and things here as well. So what I will do... Sorry, I just had to pause there to tell my dog off for chewing a bottle while I was doing a shop critique, because my microphone is very sensitive and she's playing with a plastic bottle, so you can imagine the kind of noise that was making. So where was I? Categories, yes. So I think you're doing well here. There's not a lot you can really do. I think maybe add in Easter category, unicorn category. I don't think you really need to. Maybe you could sort it by colours, something like that. So what else is on my list? So going back to the branding quickly, as long as you follow through with these colours throughout everything that you do, I think you're doing amazing on the branding front. I really, really do. So now I'm going to go into your reviews, because what I tend to say is reviews are the sort of yardstick, if you like, for, you can go away, for whether you're doing well or not. And I can see that obviously your overall score is a 5-star, and that's amazing. Wow, you got 252 reviews, well done. Obviously people like your stuff so much that they want to post a review, which obviously, as you probably know, being on Etsy since, it's not up there, is it? I think it was 2014, that obviously, you know, people are leaving reviews less and less, which is generally quite annoying. But what I was going to say is the pictures that your customers have taken, definitely use those on your socials, especially on Instagram. Maybe make a bit of a game of it, so that if they tag you in a picture of their little girl or boy wearing your bits and bobs, that you give them a coupon, or you give them a shout out, or they get entered into a competition or something like that, because that is a really fantastic way to build social proof. The other thing I was going to quickly say, now I might just go through a couple of pages. If you ever get any less than 5-star reviews, like this one here, so amazing, because you've obviously refunded them. They can see that on the review here. That wouldn't put anybody off, definitely wouldn't. But in a couple of the shops that I've been in, I have seen that there's been a 1 or 2-star review. And I would just say to make sure that you learn from what was mentioned in that review. The customer isn't always right, and I know that, being a shop owner myself, but just make sure that you take on board what they've said. Not any of the shops that I've been in, but definitely from a shopper's point of view, I've seen reviews that have had 1 or 2 stars and the shop has responded in a really awful way, which has definitely put me off from buying from that shop. So just make sure that when you respond to reviews, you're doing it in a professional and positive way. Target market. Now, obviously, I think you know your target market definitely, because your target market is definitely mums or dads of little ones. So I like the fact that you're using modelled shots and you're using faces, cute faces as well, to draw people in. And I think that would work really, really well when people are searching on their phones for your items. Overall, your shop is beautiful, but there must be something in here that I can find, that I can critique. I'm going to find something. So let me have a look. So going back to your images are clear. Now I'm going to go onto your older stuff, because I know that you've had some new pictures taken. These are fantastic. I'm not your target market. I don't have children, but I'm going to pretend that I was scrolling on my phone. These modelled pictures, that and that, that picture is beautiful. Love that picture. Definitely when it comes to children's clothes, now I did critique a baby clothes shop yesterday. I do really, really feel like modelled shots when it comes to kids' bits and bobs are the best, because, you know, being mums and dads and things, they are naturally drawn to cute faces, so definitely. So I can see that you're probably upgrading your pictures. I mean, that is gorgeous. I love that. Like if you would make that for big people, I would say buy that. In fact, I would wear that to Disneyland or something like that. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I can see that you're probably upgrading your pictures. I love the modelled shot. Definitely carry on with the general aesthetic of pictures like this, this and this and this and this. The flat lays and things, they serve their purpose. They would be good for like a secondary picture, but you definitely want to draw people in with, you know, the modelled shots. They are bright as well, which I like. I have seen a few shops as well that are just, the pictures are so dingy and dark, and I like the fact that your pictures are very, very bright. So you're doing fantastically there. So let me have a little look on my notes, because I had one sheet of paper left. Like, how bad is that? So I had to print it all on one sheet of paper, so it's tiny. So your pricing, I am going to go back to page 1 because that's where I like to start. So pricing, I think your prices are fine. I mean, I can't touchy-feely your products myself, and I'm not your target market, so obviously I'm not the one to sort of comment on your prices. But if I open, let's say that one and that one, because I think those are the cutest little things. Wait for it to load. So you get free delivery to United Kingdom with £20 purchase. So I don't know, how much is your postage anyway? £3. Have you experimented with popping the £3 in the price and having free postage? The only reason I say is because you get that little, now I'm going to see if I can do this without crashing the software. So let's put in, I'm literally just going to put in that because I have some notes on your SEO as well, but there we go. Are we going to take ages or are we going to do it? Yay, lovely. So obviously you've got 823 results. Now, I don't know if you've been on the Etsy shopper app recently, but this button, there's a reason why it's at the top. Do you know, so many people press this button when they're looking for things, as well as this button here. So if I click free UK delivery, I'm more attracted to the listings with this nice little green button here. Now, I know that yours is here as well, and that's completely fine if you feel like you want to keep it like that. I know there's some free shipping comments and fiascos and all that kind of stuff where some people say it helps their sales and some people says that it hinders their sales. I get that, and it's completely personal to you, but this little green badge is there for a reason. It's highlighted for a reason, and I must say I think people's eyes are naturally drawn to the green bar, but also, it is a good way to try and get people to spend more or to add 2 pieces to their cart, because obviously you've got free shipping over £20. So have a little experiment. Everything that I say, experiment with it in your shop. Every shop is different. I'm going to get rid of that now. So Dear Antlers headband. 823 results. My other suggestion, now where are you? So my other suggestion for your shop is, now this might be quite a controversial thing to say, but what I found has really, really helped is that I've increased the prices in my shop. I apologise for the sirens again if you can hear it. I'm not sure what's going on, but it has to happen when I'm on a call, doesn't it? I have increased my prices a wee tad, and I have put it on a permanent 10% off sale. So the reason I've done that is for this exact button here. Now, some people won't click it, some people will just scroll. I think in the case of your items, they're quite specialised, but I think if you were to type in like a broader search such as kids costumes or something like that, in fact, let's do that right now. Let's type in kids costume. Honestly, I can't spell today. I can't even, that is not right, is it? That is not, there we go, it's auto-corrected. Thank you, Etsy. So, as you can see, 106,678 results. A lot of people will be clicking on that button, and if your items are not on sale, you will be excluded from that search. So see, it immediately cuts it down to 20,361 results. If I then click this, you have to have both on to be included in that search. And this, see, it's cut down to 1,114. And this technique is basically how I get ranked higher. Now, as you know, Etsy has become more saturated with shops over the past, well, I would say the past 2 years, they've seen a massive growth in the pure amount of shops that are on Etsy. This little hack here is how I have kept my sales up. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying you have to make less money, your profit margins have to be slimmer or anything like that, but you definitely, because your items are beautiful, you definitely have wiggle room to increase your prices if you want to, and put those two, and put those two things on your listings. And I think you might see more traction, but by all means, copy the listings, try it out, because this is on a listing by listing basis, not on an entire shop. So all the listings that are free shipping and on sale will be included in this search. So maybe copy a couple of the listings that sell the best for you and do this little tactic and see how it goes for you. So, where am I now? SEO. The people that say they know about the SEO search, they know how it works 100,000%, and they know the ins and outs of it, are probably lying. A lot of people, they claim to be SEO experts. The ones, you can tell that the good SEO experts always say, make sure that you test things for your shop. Don't just take what I say as read. There are so many other gurus and experts and things on there that literally just say, this is how Etsy search works, yada, yada, yada. No one really knows how Etsy search works, because if we all did, everyone would be ranking #1, and that just wouldn't work. The shorter titles I can see that you're doing, and I know why you've done that, is because Etsy have probably come out and said, yes, shorter titles work better. However, I did a 3-month-long experiment with this on my shop. Now, this was between March, April, May, June. So from March, I copied a lot of my best sellers, did not change anything else, but I did exactly what you've done here. They completely flopped. They did not get the views. Everything else was exactly the same. So I know that item sold. I know the description sold. I know the tag sold. Nothing else was changed apart from the titles. I understand the readability aspect and the non-keyword stuffing, and I 100% get that. But I think you would see a lot more views. So for example, on this one, if you put in deer antlers headband, comma, I don't know, cosplay for kids, comma, woodland dress up, maybe. I'm just going to scroll down to your tags and see what sort of tags you've got. Fawn antlers, baby deer. So let's do a little experiment. So I'm going to take fawn antlers, and I'm going to go onto Etsy, fawn. See, 90 people a month are searching for fawn antlers. This plugin, by the way, which pops up with things, is called Keywords Everywhere. It's not going to work now, is it? I'm trying to, that's it, there we go. So this plugin is called Keywords Everywhere. You can get it from the Google Chrome store. It's really useful for doing things like this. And the Etsy search bar is actually like one of the #1 places that I find my keywords from, just because it's straight from the horse's mouth. This is where people are searching for your stuff. Bob's your uncle. So you've got 976 results. Let's go on to that one. Let's go on to that one. Let's go on to... Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to go on to that one. No, I'm not. I'm going to go on back onto that one again, I think. Right. So what I'm looking... Their titles are longer. They're not keyword stuffing by any means. Like, they're not, you know, how the titles used to be. See, they've got a cake topper in here. Do you remember how the titles used to be, where it was like antlers, comma, cake toppers, comma, reindeer, comma. Oh, apologies for that. That would be... Honestly, Ruth, I do apologise. It's all going on during your shop critique. Just going to adjust my mic. There we go. Right. We are back on track. So if you remember, it was literally comma, antler, comma, deer, comma, Bambi, all that kind of stuff. And I understand why you've probably thought, okay, well, I'm going to keep them really, really short. Again, where have you gone? Where has that listing gone? It's gone, isn't it? Okay. Where you've got quite short titles, I would just experiment with maybe putting in some more of either your tags that are working well for your shop. Again, if you go into your tags, you can see what your tags. If you go into your stats, you can see what tags are working well for your shop. Now just experiment, maybe put in comma, deer, reindeer, whatever your tags are that are working well for this particular item. And also as well, if you do promoted listings, which I would 100% recommend that you do, if you go into your promoted listings for that individual listing, you can see what keywords get more click-through rates and all that kind of stuff. So definitely experiment with copying your listings and keeping everything else the same, but doing the longer, well, not long titles, but doing, you know, maybe, which one was it? Maybe do like what this shop has done and just do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 sort of phrases, if you like. Because as well, I know that exact matches of your phrases, see, like that's a very long title, so I wouldn't recommend that because you struggle to kind of read that. But I would, again, sort of 100% see here, you've sort of done the same thing. I would 100% recommend just to copy it and seeing if, butterfly crown, butterfly head, please. So put say that tag, and that tag back in your titles, separated with a comma or a dash or however you like to do it, and see if it brings you in more traffic, because I know that they say that Etsy likes exact matches as opposed to just random words. Just trying to, this is a good one. So I haven't seen this work for my shop. So for example, if someone's typing in deer, costume, woodland, fawn, something, headpiece, Etsy will take that word, and that word and sort of smash it together and bring up your listing, or your listing will rank. However, the question is that whether you'll be ranking relatively high. So I don't think you'd rank page 1 for that, because obviously it's not an exact match. Exact matches at the moment are always ranking higher, also I've found. So again, just experiment going to the Etsy search bar. Let's type in woodland. See, woodland headpiece, headdress, woodland headband is a good one. Maybe even try, because obviously this search is getting searches every month, so maybe even copying one of your listings, put woodland headpiece, comma, woodland headdress, comma, something like that. I'm not an SEO expert. I can just tell you what's been working for my shop, and that is still to this day how I'm being found. So I don't know whether they're experimenting for some shops, or maybe the UK shops gets everything last. I'm not sure. I'm just going to minimize that. That's extremely distracting. But I know that from my shop, exact matches are still ranking me higher. So that could change. So if you're listening to the replay a few months down the line, just make sure that you try it out in your shop. So, also, as I'm sure that you know, don't change SEO too often. It takes at least 30 days for it to be indexed by the Etsy bots and things like that. And also, if you're going to copy a listing and change one thing, just make sure it is one small thing, so you know that it's definitely, so if you copied this listing, did the comma, the other tag, comma, the other tag, etc., etc., make sure that you don't change the pictures as well, because you'll never know if it was the pictures that made it do better or worse than the original listing, or whether it was the SEO. But obviously you know that, and don't change listings that are performing well, because there's a reason why Etsy likes those listings. But definitely let me know if the shorter titles that have been working for you thus far, because yeah, it will be interesting to see, because I know that there's been a lot of toing and froing about the shorter titles and things like that. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have to go back onto that now. I don't know why I clicked off of that. I'm going to have a look at your delivery times. July the 4th, what's that? So I always sort of say that if you can reduce your delivery times, and I know that's hard for a handmade seller, and you know, I completely understand. When I was full-time in my job and I had my shop as well, I found it really, really hard to get it out in the, I think it was at that time, it was a 2 to 4 days, working days time, turnaround time. But if you can batch create things, if you can maybe pre-pop the flowers on the headband, so I don't think you do personalisation on this particular item, do you? So if you can pre-make these and then reduce this time, I think that would also increase your sales, because I know that if you were to do something like that, you'd be getting ahead of the game, because I can guarantee that a lot of the other shops out there that sell similar things to what you sell would definitely have long times, and I think you would win the sale if you could get your items out faster than they could. So obviously just a little thing to think about. We've covered the postage, so now I'm going to go to your about page. That's my shop. I don't want to go onto my shop. Let's cross that off. I'm doing it all a bit wrong here, aren't I? There we go. So let's go on to your about section. There we are. So I always recommend that to do sort of at least 3 to 4 paragraphs of your history, why you do what you do, why you started your shop, all that kind of things. The more value, i.e. the more you put in your about section, the more value it adds to your shop and your items. So like here, you've got a picture of your RC. That's really cute. I love that. That's amazing. But as a shopper, I'd love to see inside. I'd love to see your workspace, your sewing machine, your how you store your fabrics, all that kind of stuff. I would love to see that as a shopper, and every little insight into your sort of behind the scenes business story, all that kind of stuff. Every little bit of information that you can put in here adds value, and I know that the shops that do the best always have a really solid about section or about story or something like that, and it's literally at the forefront of their brand. So I would love it if you could maybe put a little bit more information. Maybe it'll help, maybe it'll also fuel some really fantastic social media posts, because I know that your Insta is amazing. Yep, so you've got amazing Insta posts, and I bet with posts on your Instagram, the more personal that you are, the more engagement that you see. So I'm going to see if I can find a personal post maybe with your face. Here we go. See? Yeah, definitely. So a picture with your face, meet the maker type of thing, will always get more engagement, because people can relate to you more. People can see you, they know your face. It's not just a brand but it's you're in the trenches, you're making their items, they see you, and I love that. I think that's fantastic. So the same goes for your Etsy shop as well. The more personable you can be, the better. Also, extra brownie points if you can put a video in here as well. It doesn't have to be a video of your face, it could even be like a little slideshow video tour of your workspace or something like that. Another note I've got down here is on the back end of your shop, when a customer orders from you, do you put like a nice little message to say, hey, thank you for buying from my shop, this is about me, your item will be with you in 1 to 2 weeks time or whatever. Obviously I can't see that from my end, but just make sure that the customer experience from when they find your item, add it to cart, purchase it, to when they receive the confirmation message, that everything is seamless. I know that from my end, a lot of customers, or rather in my shop, sometimes when Etsy goes a little bit wonky and the thank you message doesn't get sent, I always get panicked messages from customers like, oh, I placed an order with you, but I didn't see an email or a message or anything like that. And honestly, it does go a long, long way just to make sure that you reassure them after the purchase as well as before the purchase. So I'm going to go on to your socials now, just ever so quickly. I am not a social media expert. Oh, it's you. Oh, getting a nice little message from Ruth while I'm doing your shop. So let's go and have a little look. 603 people. Fabulous, that's amazing. Are you posting relatively regularly? I always say, I know it's a pain, I know social media, oh, I love the videos. I can't play them on here because it crashes the software, but amazing. I would always say, because you're getting really good engagement, and all these people, every time you, wow, that's amazing. Every time you post, you're bringing the shop back up to their attention again. So I would 100% recommend that you post it probably at least once a day, if not once every other day. You can use, now I use Later. Let me just show you. It's really cheap as well. I've used Hootsuite, I've used Tailwind. I still use Tailwind for Pinterest, but yeah. So it's really, really, there's even a free plan that you can put 30 posts in. So if you do one post a day on their free plan, you're winning, because at least then it's scheduled in, you don't have to worry about it, all those things. So yeah, I would probably at least recommend you post once a day. It doesn't have to just be you and your product and your workspace and all that type of thing. It can also be, just going to make sure, yeah, it can also be like things like this, where it's articles and pictures and things that your target market would be interested in. The same with your Insta. There's no easy way to see it, is it? One day ago. So you're posting, I think you're posting more regularly on Insta, aren't you, rather than Facebook, which is fantastic because your photos are beautiful and you're literally getting fantastic engagement. A little tip, I don't know if you're using the same hashtags. No, you're using different hashtags for each picture, which is fantastic. Another little, now I can never remember the name of it, that's why I have to type in IN and just hope it pops up. There we go. So another little tool that I use, I go onto this website here, in Instavast, and I go to that, so type in keyword. And so say, for example, let's go back to Insta. Let's say, for example, we want to post this picture here. Now this is very mermaidy, sequins, iridescent. So let's go for mermaid. Let's just type in the word mermaid. Generate. Now the last critique I did, this took ages, and I'm hoping it's not going to take ages now. Are you gonna work for me? Come on. Basically, what I want to kind of show you is that you can get lots of different keyword ideas. Here we go. So I know a lot of them won't apply. So for example, mermaid tattoo, mermaid wedding dress, that's a mouthful. But you can see on both sides here you have long tail and short tail hashtags, and it gives you lots of sort of different ideas. They also give you like a cute little visual representation of the type of pictures that are in that hashtag. In general, I'd recommend going for hashtags that have under 200,000 posts. That's what I found to be like a nice sweet spot. Under 300,000 is okay, but you might see less engagement over time. So, for example, mermaiding would be a really fantastic one for you. That one is too popular. That one would be good. That one would be good. Obviously, that one doesn't apply. But if you see what I mean, it's just literally a case of just going through and maybe adding some more hashtags. And you can definitely do that in the comments section as well. So if you post this and you only post 3 or 4 hashtags and you think, oh, damn, I've got to go in and edit that now, you can definitely post it in the comments section below. So that's your Insta. Let's go into your Pinterest. It's my favourite. Pinterest. So as I mentioned before, I can't even talk. I can't even explain to you how fantastic Pinterest would be for you, because your pictures are drool worthy. Your pictures are amazing, and with your target market, I really feel like Pinterest would be a complete winner for you. So you've got, how many pins have you got on? So you've got a good selection of pins, 6.4k monthly viewers. The thing with Pinterest is that I find as soon as I stop posting and I use Tailwind and I do about 30 pins a day, which I know sounds a lot, but I'm not sure if you're using Tailwind or anything like that, but as soon as I stop posting or I reduce the amount of posts that I post every day, the amount of monthly unique viewers does drop. So if you're not using a scheduler like Tailwind, I'd highly, highly, highly recommend it. I am going to be doing a video shortly on Tailwind and things like that, so if you fancy having a little look, by all means. But again, use boards or create boards that your target market is attracted to. So definitely, like, these are all fantastic. Maybe do things like lunchbox ideas, crafting ideas for summer breaks and half terms and things like that. Bedroom ideas. So you're doing really, really well. I just think maybe it's an idea to just do more of what you're doing, and just add some more boards. Just a quick one. Are you keywording your pins? So if I go on to that, how do I know if you're keywording your pin? I don't think you are. Are you? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that this is just the way that I view it or whether you can view it. But if you're not keywording your pins, I have got a Pinterest more detailed video. But just a quick one is if you just do like a really broad search, so kids mermaid costume. I know that's not technically what this is, but just roll with me here. What I do is for each one of my pins, now I don't actually save a lot of product pins on my Pinterest. That's my bad. I should do. I'm just lazy and I haven't done it in a long time. But definitely keyword your pins. Now, what I do, so I've got my little notepad up here, and I type in kids mermaid costume, DIY, Halloween, not homemade, that doesn't really apply to you, life, so it's like mermaid life, ideas. So obviously Etsy is a keyword, Ariel is a keyword, party ideas, etc, etc, etc. Then I go on to, so I want to go back onto the pin. There we go. So before I post this pin, I create a description. So for example, I won't type it out because it'll take me years to type it out, right? But what I would do is I'd put kids mermaid costume ideas for the perfect DIY mermaid party, ideas for dressing up like Ariel on Etsy, Halloween costumes, mermaid life. So use these keywords, but don't just keyword stuff, and I really 100% think that you will get more traction on your Pinterest. So that's literally just a really, really, really basic kind of rundown of how I think you should maybe do some different things on Pinterest. Twitter. Now, Twitter, I must say, I'm not even logged in. I don't really use Twitter all that much, but what I can say is that a good sort of way to keep up with your Twitter account without really putting much effort into it is if you go on to how many F's is it? Oh no, it's all the T's, not all the F's. IFTTT. You can do a Twitter one, and it auto posts, so it will also post like a quote or something like that. Twitter mentions, RSS feed to Twitter, so if you've got a blog, it'll automatically post it to Twitter follow, thank you. Basically just putting your Twitter on autopilot. I am by no means a Twitter expert. I am rubbish because I just don't really get it myself, but if you find that you get a lot of traction from Twitter yourself, then that's just nice little ways to kind of keep it up. So the last section of the critique, now I know I said I'd try and keep this under 40 minutes. How am I doing? Oh, Christ, okay. Right. So I'm going to go back onto your shop now. The last section is I always tend to offer like new product ideas and things. Feel free to tell me to stuff them because it's your shop. You are completely and utterly in control. But I just want to sort of give you some ideas from a different mindset, a different perspective, because sometimes these can be useful to you. So I see you've got personalised capes and things. I really like these. I think these are fantastic. Just trying to think. So let me have a look. Do you offer like girlier costumes? There's dinosaur costume. So you do pink costumes and things like that. I would 100% recommend doing a whole outfit. So for example, you've got the owl mask here. But let's say that your kid is doing a woodland themed dress up day at school. Obviously, as a mum, I'd probably be going, oh my goodness, I'm racking my ideas, trying to think of, bits and bobs and all those types of things. So you've got tails, you've got headbands and things like that. I like the idea of doing more sets, so doing more, so like that, for example. Maybe, if you possibly can, do like a mermaid tail that's kind of the same as this principle here, where it goes around the waist or it clips onto your shirt or something like that. Do more complete costumes. See, I like the idea of doing the headbands and things like that, but maybe as a upsell option, so maybe you could do this as a variations on your listings, maybe give them the option to add a cape to this for £20 or however much you charge. It just makes it a lot easier for a mum rather than her thinking, okay, I've got the headband or I've got the mask now, I now need to go out and find a tail or make a tail or yada yada. I think a lot of mums would just be right, okay, stuff it, let's just buy the cape and the crown, just be done with it. So I think making sure that you release your products in sort of sections, so you have an owl section, a flower section, yada yada. I don't know if you already do that, maybe they've expired or maybe I'm just not seeing them, but yeah, maybe just release them in sets. The other thing as well is that I really think that flower girl dresses, well not dresses, but flower girl headbands, flower girl, those little flowers that go around their wrist instead of a bouquet, all those types of things would be amazing for you, because at the minute you're in a market that, I'm not quite sure when your slower times are, but for me the best thing for my shop that I ever did was to tap into the wedding market. Now obviously jewellery for myself, it's always a wedding gift, to be honest it can always be used as such, but what I did is that I started making jewellery and I started to specifically engrave it for mother of the bride, mother of the groom, auntie of the groom, flower girls, all that type of thing. And the minute that I transitioned from, well, all of my things can be used as a flower girl gift or yada yada, I took the effort from the customer's mindset and I did it for them. So I made a necklace engraved with mother of the bride, even though I always did engrave jewellery and I would always do custom messages. Instead of taking that pain point out from the customer's mindset of, oh, I wonder if they can engrave it with this, this and this, I pre-engraved it with that already, listed it, keyworded it as such and did that. So I think the wedding market would be an amazing thing for you to tackle. It would be a bit of an undertaking, and I know that you're doing a trade show, and congratulations, by the way, that is amazing. Honestly, I don't think I'd ever be that brave, but that's amazing, and I think wholesale for you would be fantastic, I really, really do. But if ever you want sort of an extra little sort of ideas or just an extra little squiggle in your ideas book, the wedding market would be a fantastic one for you to tackle. So I hope this was helpful to you. Sorry for all the mess ups and the interruptions and things. I've been trying my best to keep my dog off my lap throughout this. And the sirens and the doorbell and the thunderstorm and all those types of things that have been going on in the background for the last 40 minutes. Honestly, it's had all day to do this, and it's only in this last 40 minutes that it's decided to make all the noise. So I hope this was helpful to you. I absolutely love your shop, and I really, really feel like you will go far. Uber proud of you for this amount of sales as well. That is fantastic, and your pictures are amazing as well, and I just love your shop. If you made stuff for dogs, I would be all over that, because I don't have a child, but I have a dog child, and honestly, I would be going crazy. But anyway, well, I mean, that could be another product idea, but you know, I divulge. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful to you. I love you guys very, very much, and I will see you soon. Bye.